So before I present the graduate award and the class of 2017, I have just a few words for the graduates themselves. I think you already all know how much my imagination was captured by your production of Thornton Wilder's The Skin of Our Teeth just a few weeks ago. I've talked about it at morning prayer, mentioned it at the year-end celebration. I even talked to many of your grandparents about it at Grandparents' Day. I can't remember if I said anything about it at our going away party for our family, but it was certainly on my mind. And I told you I would have a little more to say on this occasion about why it so moved me. Because you have told me as much, I know that some of you wonder just how a play with a pet dinosaur and a woolly mammoth could mean as much to me as the Brothers Karamazov. So perhaps this brief explication will give you a glimpse of what I saw and what I experienced in your skillful production that has caused me to think of little else the past few weeks. For those of you who don't know, The Skin of Our Teeth tells the story of the Antrobus family, their name a not particularly subtle allusion to the Greek word for mankind, anthropos. Together, the five main characters, father, mother, son, daughter, and the sometime housemaid, sometime temptress, sometime Lieutenant Sabina, tell the story of us, of humanity on its long journey from bright infancy through the ages. Its three acts span time from the Ice Age to the Roaring Twenties to a world enmeshed in war. And always, Wilder is raising the questions, who will we be in the face of all this? Who will we become? What survives? I hope you graduates get a chance to see this play someday when you've grown older. Maybe when you've been married for quite a few years, when you've spent time in a career or even switched careers midstream, when you have children of your own, when, in short, life has done what it will and you have lived to tell about it. I hope you pull out a dusty DVD copy and sit around and watch it with your children. I have no idea who each of you will become, how happy you will be in your vocation, your state in life, your family. I can't know what moments of bright and lasting joy or what tragedies, large or small, may have marked you forever in equal measure. 20 years from now, you will have crossed over that midway point in our life's journey that was the occasion for Dante's Divine Comedy. I don't know who you will be. Neither do you. None of us do. I do know you will be subtler, more experienced, more savvy. I hope that you will also be young at heart in many ways, but that you will also be more reflective, and in this, that your capacity to love will have increased. I would not dare to hope that your life will be easy, but I do hope that it is good. And if you were to get together 20 years from now and watch Thornton Wilder's play again, I think you would see with fresh eyes just how much the questions that are raised by that play apply not only to humanity, but to each human being, to each life as it passes through its own stages. Who will we be in the face of all this? Who will we become? What survives? As Abby pointed out, and you know, you're faced right now with a dizzying new array of choices. But among those, there are choices that are more fundamental than the rest, even if they seem less immediate. Who will you be in the face of all you encounter? Who will you become? What will survive? Some of you may be skeptical of this, or perhaps you will become so later, even in light of your Trinity education, but I really do believe that your relationship to the works of philosophy, theology, history, art, poetry, music, mathematics, and science, your relation to everything of this order that you've encountered here at Trinity, and those things of value that you will encounter beyond, will have a lot about how you end up answering those ultimate questions. In his own preface to the set of 3 plays that included The Skin of Our Teeth, Wilder writes, "The response we make when we believe a work of the imagination is that of saying, this is the way things are. I've always known it without being fully aware that I knew it. Now, in the presence of this play or novel or poem or picture or piece of music, I know that I know it. This was the third time in the 20 years I've been at Trinity that the seniors have performed The Skin of Our Teeth. But as I was watching the 2 nights of your production, I was conscious this time of entering my mid-40s. I was preparing to move to another state. I was welcoming my oldest child and son back from his first year of college, back into the home as a man, not a boy. So under these new conditions, there were several fresh things I saw in that play that in some sense I may have already known, but that the play helped me know that I know. That evil, for instance, cannot be dealt with by simply trying to eliminate those in whom we fear it most resides. That not only the righteous, but also those on the margins have to be brought into the ark when the rain comes. And that reconciliation does not primarily happen in isolated moments, but in the lifelong task of building true covenant relationships and lasting community. This is the power of books. They really can be, as Mr. Antrobus says, voices to guide us and the memory of our mistakes to warn us. And if you take them up beyond here, not merely as homework assignments, but as friends and guides, they will come to mark, as the play suggests, not only your hours, but also your years and the stages of your lives. So, graduates, I do want you to believe that the books you have read are worth saving. And not just on a bookshelf or in a library, but in your minds and in your hearts. Whether it was Shane or The Hobbit or My Antonia at the bottom of your own stack of books, keep all the valuable books you have read here. And keep them here. Keep them alive inside of you. Because at the end of the day, it's not the books that ultimately make a difference. It's the creative and restorative energy of human beings made in God's image and likeness that matters. The books, they can be our signposts. They do matter. They are hints and guesses. But as T.S. Eliot put it, you are the music while the music lasts. The Skin of Our Teeth was first staged in 1942. Thornton Wilder has been dead for over 40 years, but you are here now. You will be here long after many of us who are on this stage today are gone. You are the music while the music lasts. I want to repeat now in full Mr. Antrobus's lines from Act 3 that I've been focusing on the last couple of weeks. But as you listen to them this time, graduates, I want you to imagine yourself, even 6 months from now. Imagine where you'll be, what you might be doing. And I want you to ask yourself, do I want to be able to utter these lines under any circumstances? Now, I suspect that many of you will say yes, and that you will mean it, and that you will, in fact, live it out. But if even one of you were to seriously take up this task, the Trinity education would have succeeded. Here they are. Listen carefully. I know that every good and excellent thing in the world stands moment by moment on a razor edge of danger and must be fought for, whether it's a field or a home or a country. All I ask is the chance to build new worlds, and God has always given us that. And shortly thereafter, Sabina, alone on the stage, reminds us, the end of this play isn't written yet. Mr. and Mrs. Antrobus, their heads are full of plans, and they're as confident as the first day they began. And they told me to tell you, good night. Congratulations, and God go with you.